All right, we're going to walk around my 1995 YJ. This is a two-part video. This is actually going to be part one. I've already shot part two. I want to walk around it, and I try to do this in order to save you time, so you get here and you find out that the vehicle the pictures look better than they do. So I walk around the vehicles and go over everything with them. First off, this is 1995 YJ. The first thing that I want to point out, does have the square bumper on it. It really doesn't have a lift on it. It's got the shackles on it, which personally I don't like. I would change this over and lift it up about 3 inches, or maybe 4 inches, but anyway, this is something that the buyer could do. I don't particularly care for these headlight guards that it's got on it, but they serve a benefit, of course. Now, the first thing that I want to point out, the paint on this vehicle is relatively good. There's not much oxidation on it. It does need cleaning up and waxing, but it's pretty good overall. The tires on the vehicle are good. They're all-terrain tires. The hubs on them are a little surface rust on them. They need cleaning up. But walking around through it, the glass is good. The side windows are good. Now, notice that it does have the sliding windows here. And this Jeep does have, what I love about it, has the half doors. So a rag top for this Jeep is relatively inexpensive. I prefer the half doors versus the full doors, just because the tops for them are less expensive. Now, as far as rust or body repair, it looks like this back of this Jeep was hit at one point in time and somebody tried to beat it out. It can be repaired. There's not any major rust through there. It just needs a body man to get a hold of it, or a do-it-yourselfer to fill it in with some Bondo and clean it up. But it looks pretty good, and that's the only thing on this Jeep anywhere that shows that really needs to be replaced. It does have a plexiglass rear back. Now, the Jeep does have a hard top, and it's got a plexiglass rear back. Personally, for me, I take the hard tops off the Jeeps. I don't particularly care for them, and I go with the rag tops or the Bimini tops. Does have the little 1.25" receiver on it. You don't want to pull a lot with these Jeeps, but they're great for pulling like golf carts or lawnmowers, things of that nature. That's a Rio Grande edition. That's what it was called back in 95. Of course, this is looking at other tires. Just in real good shape. Again, the side windows, just walking around it. Got a little bit of discoloration down here on paintwork. But overall, the body is really, really good and solid on this Jeep. Now, I want to get up here, and this Jeep does drive very well. Tie rod ends and everything on it are fine. There's not a lot of frame rust on this Jeep. There's surface rust. There are no complete through penetrations on the frame on the Jeep. It's a good, solid Jeep to start with. I've restored Jeeps for many years, or worked on them for many years, and this one is just in top-notch shape. Doesn't need a complete restoration. It just needs some TLC on it to go to work and make it a super, super nice Jeep. Okay, we're going to open up the inside. The door panels on the Jeep are relatively good. Of course, this year model didn't have a lot of power windows. Interior, pretty good on the Jeep. I do want to show you, it's got this flaw in the seat. Seat covers for Jeeps are just a common thing. Overall, the interior of this Jeep is in real good shape. Now, it does need a major cleanup. The weather hasn't been good for me to be able to do that. I'm going to be doing that before very long. If the weather will stay nice, I'll get my Jeep cleaned up, obviously to make it more presentable. But I've got it priced now without the cleanup. I do want to go back because I don't remember if I made this call or not. This plexiglass on the back is broken. That's about a $50 piece of plexiglass. Just take the old piece and cut it, make a template, and then put it back in. If you wanted to stay with the hard top, I don't particularly care for them anyway. Okay, let's look under the hood now. This is a 4-cylinder, the 2.5. Needs a good cleaning under here, but there's no caked on oil. There's some grease on it around from where the oil has been filled up. The PC valve looks pretty good. The Jeep runs and drives excellent. Now, there's no water leaks, no major oil leaks that I can see on the Jeep. Underneath the Jeep, there's no major oil leaks on it. It's got the jack here. It's just a real good foundation here to clean up, have you a very nice older model Jeep. I want to take a glimpse at this one right quick. This is the exact same Jeep, although it's 6 years older. And I started out with this Jeep the same way this one is. I added wheels and tires on it. And so I'm working on it continuously, but it gives you an idea of what you can start with on these Jeeps. And this one is still not done as well, but wheels and tires, winch and bumpers is what really makes the difference on these Jeeps. So when you're looking at those are things that you want to consider. For what I'm asking for this Jeep, a person could turn around and put them $1,000 worth of accessories on it, plus wheels and tires, and they've got them a super cheap Jeep.